Super Tuesday is over, and here's where the candidates stand. For the Democrats, the Associated Press tally gives Hillary Clinton nearly half the 2,300 delegates needed to win the nomination. For the Republicans, Donald Trump had a good night, but still needs more than 1,200 delegates to secure the nomination. Senator Ted Cruz benefited last night with a big win in Texas, plus wins in Oklahoma and Alaska. The results of Super Tuesday are in, and all signs do point to a likely matchup between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in the November election.
Nothing is set yet, but that doesn't mean the competition within the party is backing down. In your Voice Your Vote coverage, Stephanie Ramos shows us why other candidates are staying in and who might be dropping out.
A one-time frontrunner, now the first casualty of Super Tuesday. Dr. Ben Carson tells supporters he sees no path forward in his campaign and will not participate in tomorrow night's GOP debate. But Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton fortifying their positions as frontrunners in the race for their party's nomination, each winning 7 states and now expanding their leads in the delegate count. Political analysts say Clinton changed her campaign game this time around.
Hillary Clinton discovered in 2008 that Barack Obama got so far ahead of her in delegates that she could never catch up.
Her competition, Bernie Sanders, back on the trail today.
You are our super PAC.
Winning 4 states, saying he's not going anywhere regardless of Super Tuesday results.
When a candidate has aroused this kind of excitement, it's very hard for them to think it's over.
On the GOP side, Ted Cruz takes home 3 states, while Marco Rubio won. But he's looking ahead to the primary in less than 2 weeks in his home state of Florida.
We picked up a lot of delegates, and we feel great about what the map looks like now moving forward.
Overall, a triumphant night for Trump.
We've done something that almost nobody thought could be done.
But the race isn't in the bag just yet.
He has not crossed that 50% threshold in the delegate count.
A major statement is expected tomorrow from the last Republican presidential nominee, Mitt Romney. He's expected to lay out a case as for why Republicans should not vote for Donald Trump. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
And local Republicans say they need to find a way to unite behind whoever is their nominee. Illinois voters head to the polls for the primary on March 15th. During a meeting of the Ronald Reagan Breakfast Club, local voters say it's time to come together to make sure they get back into the White House.
Whoever the Republican nominee is, we all need to unite and get behind that candidate, or we elect Hillary Clinton.
Rock Island Republicans are meeting again to talk strategy at their Lincoln Day dinner March 8th.
The Mexican drug lord El Chapo says he's finally ready to get extradited to the United States. Joaquin Guzman's lawyer says El Chapo wants to be extradited to the U.S. as soon as possible. He's been held in a maximum security Mexican prison since he was recaptured earlier this year. But his lawyers are trying to cut a deal for him to be housed in a medium security prison in the U.S. Last month was the 3rd biggest month on record for gun background checks. According to the FBI, more than 2.5 million checks were made. The agency says background checks often spike after mass shootings, with 2 high-profile shootings last month in Kansas and in Michigan. A record of 3.3 million checks were performed in December.
The Pentagon's actually inviting the nation's top hackers to break into its secure networks. It's part of a pilot program to test the security of some public defense department websites. Military officials say this way vetted experts are finding those security gaps instead of terrorists or foreign governments. Apple is appealing a court order asking them to break into the iPhone used by one of the San Bernardino killers. Apple's refusing to write code to unlock that phone. The Department of Justice says Apple should help law enforcement on what it considers an isolated request. Apple counters that courts should not decide on a case-by-case basis.
The battle over Deflategate continues. 3 judges will hear the NFL's appeal of the decision to nullify Commissioner Roger Goodell's 4-game suspension of Tom Brady. The league says the Patriots quarterback tampered with game balls in the 2014 AFC Championship game and should be forced to serve a 4-game suspension that was initially handed down. That ruling was overturned, but the Patriots did agree to pay a $1 million fine and forfeit 2 draft picks. The panel could take months to announce a final verdict. Still ahead on News 8 at 6, unexpected benefits.
How much money local cities are saving this year after a mild winter coming up.
Weather in the Quad Cities, pretty cloudy out there, dry, no snow as of yet. There is some heading our way. I'll show you where that is and how much we're looking at for your hometown. Right after the break here on News 8 at 6.
And tonight on MyTV 8-3, it's WQAD News 8 at 9. We're taking a closer look at all the shootings in Davenport, and we'll tell you what the chief says is the bigger issue that needs to be addressed before anything else. Plus, the other results that came out of last night's Super Tuesday elections. We'll see you at 9 o'clock on MyTV 8-3.